Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot is vying for the title of worst mayor in America. President Trump cancels the 2020 Republican National Convention. Plus, Google fixes a glitch this week that was affecting, you guessed it, conservative websites. All that and more. I'm Bobby Eberle. This is a 13-minute news hour.
And God bless the United States of America.
All right, friends, welcome to the show. Happy Friday. I hope you've had a great week. If you're new to the show, thank you so much for tuning in. We're going to start with these cities that are crumbling around America and the Democrat mayors who are leading them, or lack of leadership. It's just crazy. These Democrats have no control. And it's not just that it's poor leadership, it's that they are complicit in a plan to bring chaos and anarchy. The left wants nothing more than this total chaos, total disruption to bring down President Trump and advance the Democrats. That's what this is all about. And these Democrats in these cities across the country are showing that they can't lead, they can't govern, and they do not have the best interests of those residents in mind. They just don't. I mean, it's absolutely outrageous. So my question is, who's the worst one? You've got Keisha Lance Bottoms in Atlanta, that mayor. She can't do anything. She can't control her city. Then you've got Democrat Mayor Ted Wheeler in Portland. This city has had nearly 60 days of nonstop riots and protests. Nearly 60 days nonstop rioting, looting, vandalism. He can't control his city. So rather than going in there and laying down the law and getting this to stop, this week he decided to join the protesters for a listening session. I mean, that sounds like Chaz, everyone peace and love until all the crime breaks out. But yeah, he went down with the protesters for a listening session, and it didn't turn out so well as the protesters actually turned on him. Here's the story. A riot was declared in Portland just after midnight Thursday morning after Mayor Ted Wheeler's tense visit with protesters, where he was booed, told to resign, given a list of demands, and tear-gassed by federal agents. His visit ended with his security detail engaging in a struggle with protesters late Wednesday night as they worked to get the mayor to safety, a report said. Earlier, he moved with protesters to the fence outside the federal courthouse where he stood at the front and was tear-gassed along with the crowd, according to New York Times correspondent Mike Baker. See, there's no law and order there, folks. It's just chaos. It's just anarchy. It's rioting, it's looting, and vandalism, and Ted Wheeler can't do anything about it. Then President Trump wants to work with DHS, send in the feds to help at least protect the federal lands, the federal buildings, the federal officers who are being attacked. Wheeler's doing nothing, yet he doesn't want President Trump to send these folks in. He doesn't want them to do that, yet he has no control over the city. That's Ted Wheeler. He's up there. He is pretty close to the top, but I think my pick for worst mayor in America has to be Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot. She is absolutely terrible. I go through the stats every week, folks. You know, I bring it up. Here's the latest in Chicago. Here's the weekend shootings, the wounded, the dead, almost all in these black neighborhoods, black on black crime. She can't do anything about it. Supposedly Black Lives Matter, but not to Lori Lightfoot. She's the mayor. She's doing her thing. She doesn't want President Trump's involvement, and she sure doesn't like the police. She's going after both of them. And here's a report from WGN.
Hours after police were pelted with frozen water bottles, fireworks, and other objects when a protest turned violent in Grant Park, the text messages started flying between police union president John Catanzara and Mayor Lori Lightfoot.
So you see, different city than Portland, but same results. There's the crime, there's the anarchy, there's the violence. She can't do anything about it. She refuses to do anything about it. And instead, she antagonizes the police to the point where this relationship between Lightfoot and the police department, the police union, is at the breaking point. And here's more.
Catanzara took issue with Lightfoot also encouraging people to report officers who may have crossed the line. It tells my members you care more about rioters than injured police, Catanzara texted the mayor Saturday. 4 minutes later, she responded, I made a very strong statement about the planned attack on our officers. You are better than the cartoon character that you allow yourself to become.
So she calls him a cartoon character. That's so typical of the Democrats. They'll call names, they'll label. Remember, if you disagree with them, you're a racist, you're a bigot, you're a bad guy. Now she calls this guy a clown. She's done it over and over, but the Democrats, they don't know how to lead. They don't know how to govern, but they sure do like the power. They sure do like that control. I mean, Lori Lightfoot, she's gone on and on. Remember earlier with all the lockdowns, she was telling people you couldn't even go outside to jog. By yourself, don't go outside to jog. You could be arrested. Yet photos surfaced with her going to get a haircut, close contact with the haircut person, not wearing a mask. Because she's Lori Lightfoot, she's the mayor. She can tell you to do something, but she's not going to do it. And here's more. On Wednesday, Trump announced he was sending federal agents to Chicago to help combat the spike in violent crime. The move came a day after 15 people were shot outside a funeral home and a 3-year-old was shot in the head. Lightfoot said she spoke with Trump over the phone after the announcement. The conversation was brief and straightforward, her office said in a statement. Mayor Lightfoot maintains that all resources will be investigatory in nature and be coordinated through the U.S. Attorney's Office. The mayor has made clear that if there is any deviation from what has been announced, we will pursue all available legal options to protect Chicagoans. Protect Chicagoans. Is she serious? They actually said that in the statement? These people, this leadership, Lori Lightfoot, doesn't care anything about Chicagoans. She has her little kingdom there. She'll run it like she wants, and it doesn't matter what the rest of people are doing. Chicago is in chaos, folks. People are dying every day. They're getting shot. Every weekend, people are dying, and she doesn't want help. She goes after the police. She goes after President Trump. She's got to be the worst mayor. But let me know what you think. There might be examples out there. There's Oakland. There's Baltimore. There's Detroit. There's ones I haven't even mentioned. So let me know in the comments who you think the worst mayor in America is. So next, we're going to move on to the Republican National Convention. But first, if you haven't subscribed yet, or if you're new to the show, please hit that subscribe button. Please hit that bell so you'll be notified. We're making our push for 100,000 subscribers by Election Day. 100K by Election Day, and we could do it with your help. All right, let's talk conventions. Because last weekend, I was heavily involved in the Republican Party of Texas State Convention. At the last minute, that was canceled. Mayor Sylvester Turner of Houston stepped in, worked with the convention center, canceled contracts, and we were left in chaos. Virtual convention, it was insane. So now we see it at the national level. President Trump, remember Charlotte, North Carolina, their governor, their Democrat governor in North Carolina, back in May was saying, hey, we can't do this. We can't do it. So President Trump said, fine, we'll leave Charlotte, North Carolina. We're going to go to Jacksonville, Florida. Now it looks like that is off too. And here's the story. President Trump on Thursday abruptly canceled the portion of the Republican National Convention he moved from North Carolina to Florida because of a spat over coronavirus restrictions, saying the surge that blanketed the Sun Belt with infections made it impossible. To have a big convention is not the right time. I have to protect the American people, he said at the White House. Mr. Trump notified Florida Governor Ron DeSantis of his decision and said he probably will hold online rallies instead, while allowing some business to continue in Charlotte, North Carolina. So again, back in May, Roy Cooper, the Democrat governor in North Carolina, said, hey, you can't come to Charlotte. And you know he was playing politics back then. That was a major driver. So President Trump said, fine, we're not going to go there. The state's awesome. The people are awesome. We're going to go to Jacksonville, Florida. Now things are going crazy there, so we're going to stop. But of course, the Democrats were quick to jump on this. They're playing politics, trying to capitalize on it. And here's what they said. Democratic National Committee Chairman Tom Perez used the turnabout to boast about his party's early decision to pivot to a largely virtual convention. From the very beginning of this pandemic, Democrats have put the health and safety of the American people first. Unlike Trump, we followed the science, listened to the doctors and public health experts, and worked through plans to protect lives, he said. That's how we made the decision to hold a responsible convention that will bring our country together and ensure our delegates can take care of official business without risk to public health and still shine a spotlight on our host community of Milwaukee. Wow, seriously? He seriously said this, that they are considering that they have taken into account public safety and health. It's unreal, folks. It is absolutely unreal. These guys don't care about that stuff. They don't care about public health, safety. They've shown it over these 3 months of not being able to lead either for coronavirus or the protests. George Floyd protests and riots, they haven't done a thing about it. And they're so hypocritical. They go out and say, you can't rally for President Trump. You can't get out there and show your support. Yet you have thousands, tens of thousands of people go out for a protest, and that's okay. I covered it a couple weeks ago. The Black Trans Lives Matter rally outside the Brooklyn Museum, 15,000 people gathered together, and it was praised. This was a good thing. Now all of a sudden he's talking about public health. They don't care. It's only about scoring political points, and that's what he's trying to do. So next we're going to talk about Google, but I got to show you this, folks. This was sent to me by actress and producer Paula Trickey. She used to be on Pacific Blue. She sent me this. She makes them, and you should check it out. It's absolutely awesome. I just want to say thanks, Paula. Go to her official Instagram account, Paula Trickey Official, if you want one of yours. She'll autograph it. She'll send it to you. You can send her the bottle, or she has a bunch of selections. It's absolutely awesome. It was a surprise gift, and I just wanted to share it. So next, we're going to talk about Google, because these guys discovered a glitch this week. And guess what? This glitch was preventing search results to show up from showing up from conservative websites. Imagine that. Here's the story. Google has not yet explained why a glitch in the online giant search function prevented users Tuesday from accessing the content of several news websites. A bug in Google's site command function caused Breitbart, The Daily Caller, The Drudge Report, Newsbusters, and other news websites to vanish Tuesday morning, media reports show. The company resolved the issue later that day, explaining in a tweet Tuesday that the malfunction did not target particular sites or political ideologies. All right, so that's interesting. Doesn't target political ideologies or certain websites, yet it was Breitbart, Daily Caller, Newsbusters, Drudge Report. You get the idea. Here's what they tweeted. Today we became aware of an issue that impacted some navigational and site operation searches. We investigated and have since fixed the bug. Contrary to some speculation, this did not target particular sites or political ideologies. Okay, except the reports that I just mentioned, the list of sites that actually were affected, and then Google added this. Today's issue affected sites representing a range of content and different viewpoints. Our ranking systems don't index, rank, or classify content based on political leanings, as we've explained in our How Search Works site. All right, so that's Google's glitch, yet the Daily Caller reached out to them. They still have not responded on what caused the glitch and why it only seemed to affect conservative websites. No word from Google at all to the Daily Caller, but if they do respond, I'll let you know. But based on that, based on Mayor Lori Lightfoot and all these Democrat mayors, it's a great time to ask the question, do you have a relaxed brain?
I got what you call a relaxed brain.
All right, since baseball season is starting, I want to go on a baseball theme because now you've got pitches being thrown out. We got first pitches. And as an athlete, I have to admit that I pass a little judgment on dudes that can't throw a ball. It's like, if you're a guy, you got to be able to throw a ball. I mean, that's just basic. That is just basic. And so it reminds me of 2014, probably the most famous first pitch ever, as far as being the worst, was from rapper 50 Cent. All right, well, that was then. I think there's a new winner. I think there's a new winner because the Washington Nationals brought out coronavirus king, Dr. Anthony Fauci, and here's what he did.
From baseball 2020, we get a real good feel for tonight. And now one of the more well-known Washington National fans.
Dr. Anthony Fauci.
Wow, that was so bad. Let's see it from a different angle.
It's your pitch.
All right, so that's the question. Worse than 50 or not? Let me know in the comments. I really want to know. But what is worse is how things have changed since 2014. Did you see the mound? Let me put this picture back up because we've seen the NFL, we saw the NBA with their woke jerseys. Guess what? Baseball's buying into it too. Here's Fauci on the mound, and rather than an MLB logo for Major League Baseball, it's BLM. They've bought in full bore. Before the game, players were wearing warm-up shirts that said Black Lives Matter. This is what they're doing. So I guess the whole season we're going to be fed this Black Lives Matter movement, this police brutality focused on blacks, which is not true. Major League Baseball has bought into it, hook, line, and sinker. We're going to have to deal with it all season. Give me a break, folks. Is there any sport that can just show the sport? Let us enjoy the sport. It's absolutely outrageous. But that's our show for today. A special reminder. Remember, tune in tomorrow, our Saturday live stream, 11 o'clock Central Time. We've got Lieutenant Colonel Alan West, who is the newly elected chairman of the Republican Party of Texas, former congressman. It's going to be a great conversation. We're going to talk issues and convention, you name it, Black Lives Matter, the protests, what's going on with coronavirus. If you have any questions, contact me in the description. Send in a video question, you might get on the show. That's tomorrow, Saturday live stream, 11 a.m. Until then, that's our show for today. Please subscribe. When you do, please hit that bell so you'll be notified, and we'll see you next time. I'm Bobby Eberle. This is a 13-minute news hour. Okay, friends, thanks so much for watching. And before you go, please hit that subscribe button, hit that bell so you'll be notified. And here's a special video just for you so you can watch even more of the 13-minute news hour. And don't forget to check out GOPUSA.com for the best in conservative news and commentary. We'll see you next time.